Hey, how are you? Happy Saturday, guys. This is Jemiah from the To the Window Sports Betting Podcast, and I am coming to you on Saturday afternoon. And if you are tuning in, you are serious about gambling because it is the dog days of summer, and there are not a lot of people doing what you're doing and I'm doing right now. Most people wait for football season, but most people aren't like you and I. We don't care what shape the ball is. We don't care who's playing. If there's money to be made, we want to find it. So let's get after it. Let's find it. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday. Had a rough day yesterday, which is fine. I mean, we had a great 2-day run when I started my blood feud with my model and Claude and Chat GPT and those guys. So welcome. But we are still up and profitable, and I'll tell you exactly how profitable we are since I started beefing with my model, eliminating the White Sox bet from yesterday that I completely screwed up and put way too much money on accident, typo, put in like 8% of my bankroll on a White Sox bet when they were 2-1 underdogs. A complete mistake on my part. So I canceled the bet, reloaded the money like it didn't happen. If you want to count it as a loss, you can count it as a loss. That's fine. I'm not. But since the blood feud started, we are 23-19. 54.76 win percent. Average CLV is 1.71%. We're up 2.29 units and a return on investment of 5.1%. And that's in 3 days. So nowhere to go from here but up. Things are looking good. They're going to continue to look good. And let's get into what we're on for today because we are on the World Cup. And thought I had a bet of it. Okay. All right. Well, here's what we are on. As far as the World Cup goes, I feel like the price I got on Germany is a deal and a steal, and it's extreme value on Germany on the three-way money line against the Ivory Coast at minus 186. I think anything under minus 200 for Germany in this World Cup is a deal, and I jumped on it. I had to take it. That matches at 4. The other World Cup bets we are on, Sweden and the Netherlands, probably going to be the match of the day. This is going to be this is a big boy football here. Sweden and the Dutch over 2.5 goals. I also like both teams to score, but I found better odds on the over 2.5 goals. I feel like it's going to be a 2-1 match, maybe more. But a lot of people I know like the Dutch to win. I would rather be on the total, which is over 2.5 goals. The next one up we are on for the World Cup is going to be Ecuador's team total over 2.5 against Curacao. Curacao is honestly, they're just happy to be here at this point. The country has 150,000 people in it. Like, there's been more people at a Tennessee game than in the country of Curacao at one time between tailgating and in the stadium and everything like that. So I think that Ecuador, they've got some ballers on that squad. I think they come with something to prove, and their team total over 2.5. Definitely worth the trip to the window. And the last one is going to be the late night game. I think technically it's going to be tomorrow. Actually, there are 3 bets between Japan and Tunisia. We are taking Japan and Tunisia under 2.5 goals. We are taking Japan on the money line. I think there's value there, the same as Germany. It might seem a little expensive, but I think the juice is worth the squeeze. Japan on the 3-way money line to win under 2.5 goals, and both teams to score. No, I don't think Tunisia gets a goal here. So those are the 3 bets for the midnight match between Japan and Tunisia. And that's going to do it for World Cup action. Major League Baseball really quickly. Not going to hold you, beat your eardrums up about it. But I'm on the White Sox again, this time for the actual proper amount that it's supposed to be. We're on the White Sox. It's Newcomb and Melton going at it. I think Melton is due for some regression. I think the White Sox, they are a difficult team on the road. They don't play well on the road, but I also think they get some get back, as in they should have won yesterday, which would have been really nice. But it would have been having a whole different conversation and not me justifying why my Pickett and Juice Reel app look crazy, because I can't change it in there, and I accidentally made the bet, and the bet is in. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. I sent a request to Juice Real Support, whatever. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. I bet too much and I lost on accident. It happens. But we're on the White Sox, and we are also on the Guardians again. I think Arrighetti is due for some regression as well. I think Cantillo is set to the bat. The Cleveland bats just don't quit. And once we get to Houston's bullpen, um, we we once the Guardians get to Houston's bullpen, it's a wrap. Like, that game is in hand. We just need to hold serve, keep form, don't get down too much until we can get to Houston's bullpen, and then we take advantage, and then we blow doors. And lastly, for this Saturday, and I will get out of your hair, is, you know what it is. It's the WNBA. It's Caitlin versus Angel at 1 o'clock today. Here's every time these guys get together, man, it is a game. It always is, and it was 2 nights ago when they played. The problem is, I think they set the total way too high for the third meeting of between these two teams. And if you notice, like in the NBA Finals, the total, especially, once you get to know a team, you know their tendencies, you know what they tend to do. Playing defense, Indiana's defense at home is questionable. I think they play better defense on the road, and that's just my personal opinion. And the eye test has shown that. First game of the season, Dallas went in there and put up 106 points. The Dream just put up 107 on them at home. It defense at Bankers Life Fieldhouse is completely optional for the Indiana Fever, but I think their defense travels on the road really well. I think Atlanta's defense is elite. Ryan Howard's in a conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. She's in the MVP conversation along with Alicia Gray. Caitlin Clark's always in that conversation. But Kelsey Mitchell, for as much as she scores, she's not a liability, but she doesn't play a lot of defense. So I am on the under. I got it at 177.5. I think it's good down to 175.5. This is one of my favorite bets on the card, completely contrarian, as in, because people love to, they see the last score and then they put up 208, 209 points, and they think that, they set the total at 177. They think it's a mistake. It's not a mistake. It is not a mistake at all. So we are on the under 177.5 for the Fever and Dream. Same game. I am taking the war. I'm completely making up a narrative here, but the beef between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, that there is no beef. These ladies have no problem with each other. They're just out there playing basketball, man. But we're taking Angel Reese over 14.5 points. It's my favorite prop on the card. I think she's an absolute demon down low. She really is, and she plays with a lot of heart, a lot of fight. And my opinion, she's just better than Aaliyah Boston by a lot. And maybe I'm biased because I'm here in Atlanta, but I just think she's much better than Aaliyah Boston. It's only points, but the rebounds are going to come, and that's when she's going to get her putbacks. God forbid if she hits a three. Getting her up to her scoring 15 points, I think, not going to say a foregone conclusion. What could possibly go wrong when one says that as a better? But I think getting her I'm not asking her to go nuts. I'm not asking her to go nuclear. The double-double, betting her double-double is juiced way too much. The rebounds is set at some crazy total, like 12.5, but the points, and she's a good free throw shooter. The points are there, and I think she's going to get over 14.5 points. So Angel Reese over 14.5 points, definitely trip to the window on that. And last bet in this same game is Caitlin Clark. The battle between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Ooh, it's not a battle. Caitlin Clark over 19.5 points. She put up 26 in the last game and was in foul trouble the entire time. And then the coach, I'm not sure what she was thinking, but which is why the Fever dropped that game, is the coach left her on the bench for so long. And look, Indiana needs her on the floor. They 100% need her on the floor, which is why that game, not why, but part of the reason the game slipped away and the Dream took advantage and, shots were falling. And another reason, to go back to the under, there were a ton of free throws in that game. I think they hit, between both teams, they hit 15 3-pointers. That it was an outlier game, man. It was crazy the way they were scoring. It was a lot. the Dream put up 60 points, I think it was, in either the first or second half. Like, it's just a complete outlier game, and I just don't see it going over 177. With that being said, I still think Angel Reese gets at least to 15 points, and I think Caitlin Clark gets to 20. Not in a revenge spot, but in a spot where she's not going to let the officials get in her head as much and let her play on the defensive side of the ball inhibit her from being effective on the offensive side of the ball. And she's most effective when she is scoring and distributing and basically running this team. And that's how Kelsey Mitchell flourishes as well. And I think Kelsey Mitchell, her points might be worth a look as well. I think Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark go off in this game. So in the Fever Dream, 3 positions, we are on the under 177.5. We are on Angel Reese over 14.5 points and Caitlin Clark over 19.5 points. Now, let's move on to Seattle at Phoenix. Paper Tiger Phoenix Mercury. They have no business being a 7.5 point favorite to anyone in this league, period. They are not good. Alyssa Thomas and Kalia Copper are good. The rest of this team is they are not performing well. I, I think they just need to chalk this season up, get a really good draft pick. They need a big, and the one they wish they could probably get is on the other side of the court today playing for the Seattle Storm. That's Dominique Malanga. But we're taking Seattle plus the 7.5 points. I, I don't know if it's moved down to 6.5 or 7. Let me check real quick while we are here on air to see if it has dropped down. Let me see. Seattle Phoenix open at 7. I'm looking at Bet Online. Yeah, it was 7. I got it at 7.5. At Bet Online, it's dropped down to 7. It dropped down to 6.5 in some places and went back up to 7. I don't know who's taking this, but good luck to you. I just completely do not agree with this. This doesn't mean that Seattle's a better team because Seattle's offense can go so cold and it is so ugly to watch. It's so bad. But Phoenix is not much better. If you've seen Alyssa Thomas's jump shot, she's got 2 torn labrums. And she's still playing basketball, which is impressive in and of itself. But her jump shot suspect, the only pure shooter they really have on that team is Kalia Copper. Seattle's scrappy. Their defense is feisty. So you're giving me 7.5 points. Give me Seattle all day long. Second play in that matchup is Alyssa Thomas over 8.5 assists. She's gone over this in, I think, 6 straight. And this is not the bar's a little high. She's got to get 9 assists, but I think this is going to be a competitive game. And in thinking that Seattle's going to keep this close, Alyssa is going to have to perform at a high level. And when she's performing at a high level is when she's getting others involved in the offense and making things happen. I think she can get 9 assists. I think she's at 12, 11, 9, 10, and I think one game she might have had 8 about 4 or 5 games ago. But she can find the cutters. She can drive and dish. I think her getting over 8.5 assist is worth a trip to the window. Throw it in your daily fantasy lineups or whatever you do with that. And that's it for that. The Phoenix side. And the third play in that game is Seattle's French unicorn. Not Wemby, not quite Wemby, but Dominic Malanga, and have her point total at 15.5 points. Last game, she just went off for 28. She's a special player. She really is. And I think this, with the depleted inefficiencies of the Phoenix front court, I think this young lady takes advantage. Now, she is young, and with experience, if Phoenix were smart, they would do like the Golden State Valkyries did last night and get into her head by getting physical with her. And that's what Golden State, the Valkyrie, did last night with Olivia Miles. They got physical with her and they roughed her up, and that affected the game. They still lost because Minnesota is that good. They are so impressive. But this is a volatile bet, but I think it's worth a trip to the window. And I think that Dominic Malanga gets over 15.5 points. I think Seattle covers the 7.5. Maybe a little sprinkle on the money line for Seattle, ? But I'm not going to do it. And Alyssa Thomas over 8.5 assists. And the last game on the card is Chicago at Dallas. I'm taking Chicago plus 8.5. Dallas is good, really good, playoff good. conference finals good, but they are young. This Chicago team is veteran laden. They are gritty. They should have won the other night when New York came to visit them. They lost by 1 point, 96-95 as a 10.5 point underdog. And we were on them that night. And it would have been cool to have the outright win, but you can't get them all, but they covered the spread, which is cool. And we didn't sprinkle the money line. So, but I think getting 8.5 in Chicago, with Skylar Diggins, with Azurá Stevens, with the players that they have, and Sydney, I think her name is Sydney Johnson. She's coming to her own. I'm gonna pull up her stats really quick while we're here on air, because she's really starting to play quite well. Now that she's actually getting some burn, she's getting some yep, there it is. Yeah, Sydney Taylor out of Louisville, the Rook. Yeah, the last two games. Now, listen, her minutes usage, I mean, it's just not there. But I wonder if there's a prop out there, because the last two games, she's played 20 minutes and 28 minutes. She's put up 30 points and 24 points. So she is stepping into a role and stepping into the role nicely. And I think Chicago is going to give Dallas all that they want today. So let me run back through the card for you. Maybe I'll timestamp the video. I probably won't, because I don't want to. But we're on Germany, 3-way money line for the World Cup. We are on Japan and Tunisia under 2.5. We are on Japan and Tunisia. Both teams have scored no. And we are on Japan on the 3-way money line. We are also on Ecuador's team total over 2.5. And we are on the Netherlands and the Swedes over 2.5 goals. In baseball, we are on the Guardians on the money line against the Astros. We're on the White Sox on the money line against Detroit. And in the WNBA, oh my God, I forgot the main one. My goodness, I'm glad I got back to it. Dallas is playing. Jessica Shepard's playing. Points, rebounds, and assists. Jessica Shepard over 29.5. Her and Olivia Miles are the wagons that we are hitching our trains to for the rest of the season. Olivia Miles didn't get there for us last night against the Valkyrie, but they had a good game plan for her. But Jessica Shepard she's a different kind of forward, man. She brings the ball up. She passes just as good, if not better, than honestly any big in the league. But her over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists in the Chicago-Dallas game. We are also on Chicago plus 8.5 in that game. We are on Atlanta, Indiana, the Fever and the Dream under 177.5. We are on Caitlin Clark over 19.5 points. We are on Angel Reese over 14.5 points. And the last game is not the last game, but last game is we are on Seattle plus 7.5. We are on against the Phoenix Mercury. We are on Alyssa Thomas of the Phoenix Mercury over 8.5 assists. And lastly, we are on Dominic Malonga of the Seattle Storm over 15.5 points. All right. That's the card, guys. Like I said, if you're tuning in, you're looking for a better way. There's another way to make some money than working for somebody who doesn't value you. So take what you make the money work for you. Let's get to the window. Let's catch a few tickets. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is Jemiah from To The Window. Love.